Welcome to the Padres Postgame Show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. We'll take a trip down to the manager's office to hear from Mike Shildt. Plus, we'll bring you scores from around Major League Baseball. The Padres Postgame Show starts now on the Padres Radio Network.
Runners at first and second. Here's the 1-1. Peralta swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. Dave is racing back, going to turn around to watch, and it's going to go. A 3-run homer for David Peralta. Freight train on the tracks in San Diego, and he continues to torment the Rockies. This is now a 6-1 game.
David Peralta and the Padres cruise to a 10-2 win against the Colorado Rockies on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here at Petco Park. The Padres win the rubber match of this 3-game series in downtown San Diego. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. David Peralta, a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. He also had an outstanding catch in this game. One of 3 home runs the Padres had in this one from Kyle Higashioka, one from Jurickson Profar, and the final one from David Peralta, that 3-run shot in the 6th inning. Padres got really good starting pitching today, 5 2/3 strong innings from Matt Waldron, just 1 run given up. We were tied at 1 around the middle of this game, but the Padres offense really getting to work in the 5th inning, and from that point on, 2 in the 5th inning, 3 in the 6th inning, 1 in the 7th inning, 3 in the 8th inning. The Padres pick up win number 61 on the season. They're now 61-52, and the Rockies drop to 41-72. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we welcome you into our post-game coverage. The Padres win another series. They have won every series in the second half of the season, and what turns out to be a very, very good homestand here at Petco Park. They go 4-1 against the Dodgers and the Rockies. When we come back, we'll hear from one of today's heroes, David Peralta. We'll also have all the radio highlights for you, hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, and much, much more to come. Again, the final score in this series finale, Padres 10 and the Rockies 2. More post-game coverage from Petco Park after this. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Padres win it 10-2 against the Colorado Rockies in this series finale. 10 runs on 12 hits in this game for the Padres, including 3 home runs. The pitching side of things for the Padres, very, very good today as well. We will break down each and every aspect of this game in just a moment. But one of today's heroes, no doubt about it, David Peralta, a 3-run home run in the 6th inning to really pile on in this game. Padres at that time only led 3-1, so the home run by Peralta made it a 6-1 game, gave the Padres a lot of breathing room. David Peralta also earlier in the day made an outstanding catch up against the right field fence. He may have taken a home run away from Sam Hilliard, and at that time it was still just a 1-1 game, so that was a really big play for Peralta. And by the way, the home run he hit here today, the first he's hit as a Padre at home. Of course, he's hit a number of them as a visiting player, but his first home run in this ballpark wearing the brown and gold. I caught up with David Peralta on the field right after today's win.
David, what a day for you. The offense, the defense. Let's start with the defense. The catch up against the right field fence. What were the things you needed to do in order to make that play?
Well, I think our coaching staff do a great job to positioning ourselves the right spot so we can be, we can make those plays, But I mean, I would just, do my job, trying to help the team as much as I can, defense, offense. So I did a little bit of both today.
A 3-run home run later in the game, your first home run as a Padre in this building. What were your emotions after that home run?
Yeah, you just said I was like, I need to hit a homer in front of this crowd. They're being amazing. So I was really happy, help the team to get that big lead. So to win this game, win the series. So now we're just going to celebrate today. Tomorrow the off day, and we're going to do the same thing in Pittsburgh.
You mentioned it, another series win. This team has won every series in the second half. You're a veteran. What is the key for this team overall right now?
We talked earlier about that. Like, we need to win series and just, play as a team. It's a team effort. We're doing it all together. Relievers, offense, everybody's doing their job, and we're just going to continue to do that.
David, great job today. Congratulations on your first home run in the brown and gold here at Petco Park. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
That was David Peralta right after today's game. What a nice moment for Peralta. He did it all today. Really great catch up against the right field fence. Like we said, maybe took a home run away from Sam Hilliard, and the 3-run home run to give the Padres at the time what was a 6-1 lead. They go on to win this game and this series finale, rubber match of this series, by a final score of 10-2. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a little while, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's recap this one from start to finish.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
Let's begin in the bottom half of the second. A scoreless game, Rocky starter Cal Quantrill on the mound. Xander Bogaerts hit a leadoff single. Jackson Merrill then engaged in a really tough at-bat. He saw 8 pitches from Quantrill. The count went to 3-2, and here's what happened on pitch number 9.
So 3-2, Bogaerts runs, Merrill swings, hits it towards the right center gap. Cave is on the move, he's not going to get there, hits up against the base of the wall. Bogaerts rounding third, he's going to score. Merrill halts at second as the throw comes in, not in time. An RBI double and a 1-0 Padre lead.
David Peralta then walked. Ta-Sung Kim laid down a sac bunt to move the runners to second and third base, but Quantrill recorded the next 2 outs to get out of the jam. The Padres still had a 1-0 lead. It remained 1-0 until the top of the 4th inning. Matt Waldron back to work on the hill. Brenton Doyle led off.
Pitch on the way, right-hand hitter swings, hits it in the air to deep left field. Profar is back of the wall, Jurick's in, trying to measure it up. He will leap, and he could not make the catch. Into the first row, I think a guy caught it in his hat, and a home run for Doyle. This is a tie game, 1-1 in the 4th inning.
That's all Waldron allowed in the top of the 4th inning. We were still tied at 1 heading to the bottom half of the 5th. Kyle Higashioka led off.
First pitch to Higashioka, into the air to deep left field. Hilliard is back at the wall, leaps up, gonna go! Line drive, home run, Kyle Higashioka. First pitch in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Padres hop in front. It's 2-1.
2 batters later, it was Pro.
2-0. Profar hits it in the air. Deep to right field. Dave is back. He will watch. It will go. Home run, Jurickson Profar. 19th of the season and the second of the inning for the Padres. They now lead it 3-1.
So a couple of home runs, and we were tied no more. 3-1 Padres after 5. Matt Waldron pitched into the 6th inning and got the first 2 outs. He was very solid today. 5 2/3 innings. Just the 1 run allowed on 80 pitches. Adrian Morajón finished the frame. We went bottom 6. Rockies reliever Justin Lawrence on the mound. He hit Xander Bogaerts to start the inning. He walked Jackson Merrill. That set the table for David Peralta.
Runners at first and second. Here's the 1-1. Peralta swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. Dave is racing back, going to turn around to watch, and it's going to go. A 3-run homer for David Peralta. Freight train on the tracks in San Diego, and he continues to torment the Rockies. This is now a 6-1 game.
A really nice moment for David Peralta. Like we've said, his first home run as a Padre in this building. The freight train going around the bases. We had a 6-1 Padre lead. Morajón pitched the scoreless 7th inning. In the bottom half, the Padres struck again. Jurickson Profar hit a leadoff double. He was still on second base for Manny Machado.
There's the 0-2. Manny swings, muscles it in the air to deep right center. Doyle on the run, not going to get there. It'll one-hop over the wall. A rule book double to bring home Profar. Machado's got a 7-game hitting streak, and the Padres have a 7-2 lead.
Padres still had a 7-2 lead heading into the bottom half of the 8th inning. They would load the bases for Jake Cronenworth.
1-2 to Cronenworth. Pitch on the way. Jake swings, hits it in the air down the right field line, and is hooking, and that's a fair ball up against the wall in the corner. Higashioka has scored. Arise is coming in. He will score a 2-run double for Jake Cronenworth, and the Padre lead is 9-2.
And Manny Machado put the cherry on top on this Sunday afternoon.
1-1. Machado lines it into right field. That's a base hit. Profar has scored. Cronenworth will be held as Cave sends it in quickly. RBI single, Manny Machado. And the Padres into the double digits. They now lead 10-2.
Padres had that 10-2 lead. Yuki Matsui, a scoreless 9th inning, and that was that as the Padres win the rubber match of this 3-game set. Final score, Padres 10 and the Rockies 2. Final totals in this one for the Padres, 10 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. And for the Rockies, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Padres pick up their 61st win of the season. They are now 61-52 on the year. They are 9 games above 500 for the first time in 2024. Rockies dropped to 41-72. Matt Waldron got the win today. He's now 7-9. Cal Quantrill, the former Padre, took the loss. He's now 7-8. And now the Padres will head to Pittsburgh. They'll enjoy an off day in Pittsburgh tomorrow, the start of a 6-game road trip tomorrow in Pittsburgh, and then 3 more games in Miami Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But all in all, a very nice win, a very nice series win for the Padres as they beat the Rockies 10-2. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, and we'll continue to break this one down as the Padres take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies on the Padres Radio Network. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as the Padres win another. They've won another series to begin the second half. That is now 5 consecutive series wins to open up the post-All-Star break portion of the schedule. Final score here today, Padres 10 and the Rockies 2. Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. As we wrap this one up, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. By the way, another great crowd here in downtown San Diego. The official attendance here today, 41,828. That was the 37th sellout of the season already here at Petco Park, and it just doesn't matter. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's all sellouts these days for the most part for the Padres. In fact, if you look at this 5-game homestand, I mean, all 5 games were sold out. Tuesday, Wednesday against the Dodgers, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against these Rockies. So great job by the fans, and guess what? The Padres rewarded you really for the most part aside from Friday. They went 4-1 on this homestand. Padres continue to play very good baseball. They are 11-3. Now since the All-Star break, again, 61-52 on the year, 9 games above 500 for the first time in 2024. And here today, they got a little bit of everything. Matt Waldron, really good in this start, 5 2/3 innings, 1 run given up, gave up a solo shot to Brenton Doyle to begin the 4th inning. That's after the Padres had a 1-0 lead. That home run for Doyle tied the game at 1. But really, as the Padres got deeper into the outing for Cal Quantrill, as they got into the Rockies bullpen, the Padres offense really woke up in a big way for the first time in this series. Even yesterday, they only had 3 runs on 5 hits, right? They were not explosive yesterday, but we saw really starting in the 5th inning, the Padres start to get it going with the bats. The home run by Higashioka to make it a 2-1 game. Then Profar, 2 batters later, solo home run, his 19th of the season to make it a 3-1 game. David Peralta, a 3-run shot in the 6th inning to make it 6-1. And then the Padres scoring 1 more in the 7th inning, 3 more in the 8th inning to pile on as they go on and win this game 10-2. Also good bullpen work for the Padres today. Adrian Morahone, inning and a third, did give up 1 run, but Jeremiah Estrada, Yuki Matsui, both throwing scoreless innings in the 8th and the 9th, and the Padres win another series. That's now 5 series after the All-Star break. 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, the sweep of Washington on the road, 2 out of 3 in Baltimore, the mini 2-game sweep of the Dodgers, and now 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. And you add all that up, it is an 11-3 record since the All-Star break. So we'll see if the Padres can continue that momentum back on the road as they begin a 6-game road trip on Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park and hear some post-game reaction from the Padres skipper.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, congrats on the win. How important was it to restore some order against the Rockies and take the final game of this homestand?
Man, it was nice. Good ball game. Well done. Matty did a nice job. Got better as it went, as he kind of does, but it was good early too, which is beneficial, and got us into the 6th, and then we were able to add on from there.
Yeah, you mentioned even early on, it looked like that knuckleball had some incredible action on it today. Were you able to kind of detect that early and carried it through?
Yeah, sometimes the hitters tell you, sometimes the catcher tells you. I mean, he's a tough catch, man, and Hickey's done a phenomenal job with him all year, and another good job today, but he was dancing.
This is the 46th time that you guys have scored 6 runs or more in a ball game. It's the second most in Major League Baseball. How important is it, especially down the stretch, to be able to have those kind of offensive outbursts and take some of the pressure off your pitching staff?
Yeah, no, it's important. I mean, listen, that's the way that it's drawn up. So the more we can score, the better. Allows our starters to go deeper, usually. Sets our bullpen up. And it's just a good equation. I love the at-bats today. They were really good. Quantrill was good early, but we kept taking quality at-bats throughout and kept grinding, man, and kept getting better as the game went, which is a big part of us. The guys were communicating in the dugout about what they were seeing, and just really professional day. And, the big swing by Higgy and then Pro kind of gave us a little breathing room. And, of course, Peralta with the biggest blow and added on from there. I love the hunger of it.
Mike, what's clicked since the break? You guys are 10-3. This is your 5th straight series. You pitched well. You've hit. It seems like that. Did that break in particular do anything for this team, or is it something else?
I think we had played pretty good baseball year, but to your point, you just kind of gave the recipe. We've been able to do a lot of things really well consistently together. Starting pitching, big part of it. Scan mentions the ability to score runs, so those two, go in concert with each other. We play our clean defense, do our smart base running, be on point for that. That's usually a good recipe for shaking hands consistently.
And you get 6 guys drive in runs today. It's up and down the lineup. How critical is it that production is stretched across that many sources?
It's important, and that's the point of, the guys communicating, guys sharing information, the guys looking and seeing the game, getting better as the game goes. And then when you do that, which this group has done pretty much all year, and now they're continuing to fine-tune that within their own group. That's what you get, quality at bats 1 through 9, and that's what we're going to continue to look for and expect.
You've been around baseball long enough to know, do you see confidence? Can it pile up? Can it pool? Can it have its own momentum? Or is any of that at play right now with the way everyone's played in this stretch?
Yeah, confidence is important to all individuals, teams. I don't feel like I know that we've been pretty confident about what we were able to do and the way we're going about it. And I appreciate the dedication to that identity. We talk about that word, use it a lot, use it really early on, first couple games in the season, about establishing it, showing it, and then staying true to it. And, sometimes life in the game doesn't reward you, and you have to have some kind of identity to be able to hold on to and go back to, and it's only as strong as its challenges. And once you strengthen it, it becomes more consistent. It becomes something that we hold on to, identify with, and are able to hold on to longer.
Peralta had the home run, but he also took a ball off the wall. At that point in the game, how key was that play?
Yeah, it was a big play. I didn't get a chance to see it because of where I stand. I saw the replay. It's a big play. Like I said, 3 homers, a big one. He goes, and it looks like he took it away from him. It was hard to tell. Either way, it's a big catch and a nice play.
Was Adam coming in before the home run?
Say that again?
Let me rephrase.
Yep.
You had Adam warming up, and then Peralta hits a 3-run home run. At what point were you targeting him to come into that in that game?
Yeah, once we added on, it made sense for Adrian, who did a nice job of coming in and getting McMahon to go back out based on the score.
But if it was a 3-1 game still, you had Adam warming up. Just curious how many batters that Adrian was going to get.
Adam was going to come in the game.
Immediately, okay.
That's why he was warmed up, yep.
And then rotation for Pittsburgh, do you have that?
We'll let you know.
All right, got to ask you.
I get it, man. Inquiring minds want to know. Everybody's got a job to do.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after today's game. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Before we comment on today's game, what Mike Shildt had to say, just so you understand what's going on with the rotation in Pittsburgh. We don't know what the order yet will be for the Padres starters. Jeff Sanders, who you heard from there during the post-game press conference, he did report before today's game, Jeff saying Michael King will throw a bullpen today. Dylan Cease also throwing a bullpen today. That obviously happened before the game. King expected, and we knew this, we told you about it pregame, King expected to throw in Pittsburgh, but not sure the order yet. So we'll find that out, I'm sure, at some point tonight or tomorrow, what the rotation is for the Padres in Pittsburgh, but they should have King and Cease going at some point in that series in Pittsburgh. So that's very good news because those two guys have been just terrific for the Padres as of late. As far as this game here today, Mike Shildt touched on a number of different elements to it. Matt Waldron, really good today, and you know what? He threw 80 pitches, and I think this was a scenario today where the Padres in that top of the 6th inning, at that point they do have a 3-1 lead. Obviously the game is a long way from over. But you have Ryan McMahon there, the left-hander coming up with 2 outs and nobody on, and the Padres went to Morejon. They took Waldron out, and I think it probably, not to speak for the coaching staff, but I think it probably was a mix of two things. Number one, being lefty on lefty with Morahone, but also we've spoken about it a lot. Matt Waldron has already thrown more innings than he's ever thrown in his career. And the Padres need him, and they need that arm to last through the next month and a half and hopefully into October. So it may have also been a situation where, it was a good spot to maybe save an out or two, maybe save 5, 10, 15 pitches. Again, it probably was a little bit more in-depth than that because of the matchup, but, a good opportunity there either way to get Waldron out of the game. Went with the matchup, lefty on lefty with Morahone and McMahon, and guess what worked out? Morahone got out of the inning very quickly. So Matt Waldron today, regardless of all that, very, very good in this game. 5 2/3 innings, 1 run given up. Really a nice bounce back for him after he had a tougher start against the Dodgers his last time out. Remember that start against the Dodgers, he gave up the 5 runs early. That was the game on Tuesday night where the Padres trailed 5-0, came back to win it. And we know with Matt, once he gets through the first inning or two, he is typically really, really good. We talked about it pregame today. We did a whole keys to the game segment on Matt Waldron in the first inning. And I told you before the game that Waldron had an 8.59 ERA in the first inning this year, 8 home runs given up in 22 first innings this season, but a 2.78 ERA in every inning combined this season, aside from the first, and he's only given up 6 home runs combined in every other inning. He's given up more home runs in the first inning alone this season than he's given up in any other inning combined this year. So when he has trouble, it typically comes early, and here today, a 1-2-3 first inning, couple of Ks. He was on it from the start of this game. And the only blemish on his resume today was the Doyle home run in the 4th inning, which was not hit very far. In fact, Jurickson Profar leapt up at the fence. He nearly made the catch, so it's not like the home run for Doyle was crushed by any means. And that tied the game at 1. But hey, after the Padres ended up taking the lead, he comes back out, gets the first 2 outs of the 6th inning. So really good job by Matt Waldron. And then the catch by Peralta in the top of the 5th inning. At that point, a tie game, really critical play. Peralta a little bit later has the 3-run home run. And what you really liked from the Padres offense today is that once they got deeper into the outing against Quantrill, they were able to really get it going. The home run for Higashioka, the home run for Profar. Later in the game, the home run against Lawrence by Peralta. The Padres then getting another in the 7th inning. RBI hits for Cronenworth and Manny again in the 8th inning. So they really woke up in a big way, and you hope that offensive momentum carries into Pittsburgh. When we come back, we'll start to get through some of our daily awards. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up as well. If you want to get a phone call in, you can. 833-288-0973 if you want to chime in about today's game. Again, 833-288-0973. Final score, Padres 10 and the Rockies 2. Our post-game show continues after this. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Padres win it 10-2 against the Colorado Rockies. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the relief pitcher of the game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Our relief pitcher of the game in this one, we'll give it to Jeremiah Estrada. Really clean and easy. 1-2-3, 8th inning. Had a strikeout, had to face the very top of the Rockies lineup. So Jeremiah Estrada, very nice job today out of the bullpen, our relief pitcher of the game. We'll have our player of the game, our play of the game coming up in a little bit. First, let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on today around the major leagues.
Let's take a trip around the Bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
We have a number of games that have already gone final today. The Phillies beat the Mariners 6-0 in Seattle, snapping a 6-game skid. Phillies had 3 home runs in that game, including one from Bryce Harper. Dodgers beat the A's 3-2. In Oakland, Red Sox beat the Rangers 7-2 in Arlington. Wilyer Abreu, 2 home runs in that game for the Red Sox. Rays beat the Astros 1-0 in Houston. Twins beat the White Sox 13-7 in Minnesota. That is now 20 consecutive losses for the Chicago White Sox. You heard me right, 20 straight losses. They are 27-87 on the year, and they are starting to close in on the Major League record. We'll talk more about that when we come back, what the record is. But 20 in a row for the White Sox. Not in the W department, in the L department. Royals beat the Tigers 3-2 in Detroit. Orioles beat the Guardians 9-5 in Cleveland. Gunnar Henderson, a 2-run home run in that game. Yankees beat the Blue Jays in 10, 4-3. Nationals beat the Brewers 4-3 in D.C. Luis Garcia Jr., a home run in that game for the Nats. Marlins blanked the Braves 7-0 in Atlanta. Jonah Bride, a 3-run home run in that game for Miami. Diamondbacks beat the Pirates 6-5 in Pittsburgh. Jock Peterson, a 3-run home run in that one. Giants beat the Reds 8-2 in Cincinnati. Tyler Fitzgerald, a home run in that game. Angels over the Mets in Anaheim 3-2. Angels take 2 of 3 from New York. And finally, the Cardinals and the Cubs at Wrigley. Top of the third, no score there between the Cardinals and the Cubs in Chicago. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Sunday. When we come back, we'll hear more of the highlights from this game in case you missed them during our game recap. We'll tell you about our player of the game. We'll hear our play of the game. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Again, the final score, Padres 10 and the Rockies 2. Our post-game show continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Final score here today, Padres 10 and the Rockies 2. Padres are on the way to Pennsylvania, to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to be exact. They'll begin a 6-game road trip against the Pirates and the Marlins beginning on Tuesday, game 1 of a 3-game series in Pittsburgh. We'll have more on that game coming up in just a little while. Get you ready for the road trip and what's to come this coming week for the Padres. Still have plenty to do here on our post-game show. We'll have our play of the game in a moment. We'll have our player of the game for you in a moment as well. Matt Waldron, very good in this game. 5 2/3 innings, 1 run given up, picks up his 7th win of the season. Padres were tied with the Rockies through 4.5 innings in this game, and then they finally broke through against former Padre Cal Quantrill in the 5th inning. The home run for Kyle Higashioka to put the Padres ahead 2-1. Jurickson Profar, a home run in the 5th inning to make it 3-1. Padres offense would really get it going after that. 3 in the 6th inning, 1 in the 7th inning, 3 more in the 8th inning. Bullpen did a nice job as well, as the Padres are 9 games above 500 for the first time this season at 61 and 52. Let's tell you about today's player of the game.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Patties and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
Runners at first and second. Here's the 1-1. Peralta swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. Dave is racing back, going to turn around to watch, and it's going to go. A 3-run homer for David Peralta. Freight train on the tracks in San Diego, and he continues to torment the Rockies. This is now a 6-1 game. Hilliard hits it well in the air to deep right. Peralta is back. He fields for the wall, leaps up, and he made the catch. Up at the top of the fence in right field, David Peralta went to get it and one away here in the 5th.
David Peralta getting it done with the offense and the defense in this game. Great play in the top of the 5th inning to maybe take a home run away from Sam Hilliard. It certainly would have hit the very top of the fence, and who knows, may have hit the top of the fence and bounced over the fence for a home run. And then in the bottom half of the 6th inning, Peralta turning a 3-1 game into a 6-1 game with a 3-run home run, his first home run as a Padre here at home. So great stuff for David Peralta. Big day at the plate, in the field, and that is why David Peralta is our player of the game. By the way, just to go back to that White Sox losing streak, because we talked about it in our last segment, 20 consecutive losses now for the White Sox. That 20-game losing streak is the longest in the major league since 1988, when the Orioles dropped 21 in a row. That's the American League record to begin the season. So how about that? The Orioles dropped 21 in a row to start the year in 88. That is the American League record as far as losing streaks. So the White Sox, if they lose one more, they will have lost 21 in a row to tie the American League record. The overall record in the major leagues since 1900, that is held by the 1961 Philadelphia Phillies. They lost 23 in a row. So again, if the White Sox lose one more, they would get to 21, tie the AL record, and they are getting awfully close. They would need 3 more consecutive losses to tie the all-time record that was set in 61 by the Phillies. So the White Sox are getting dangerously close to having the worst losing streak in the history of the game. That's what's going on in Chicago right now. And oh, by the way, they may be on their way to having the worst record ever in baseball in a season. So not going well in Chicago these days. Cubs and the Cardinals, they're playing right now at Wrigley Field. But for the White Sox, not going well. They're 27 and 87. Anyway, back to this game here. Padres playing a whole lot better than that. They're now 61 and 52. They win it today 10-2. Again, this game really had 2 halves to it. The first half of the game, Padres did not have much going against Cal Quantrill. They did score a run in the second inning on Jackson Merrill's RBI double to make it 1-0. Brenton Doyle tied the game with a solo home run in the fourth inning to make it 1-1. And then we went to the fifth inning. Quantrill back on the mound. We had a 1-1 game. Kyle Higashioka led off, and Higgy provided today's play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
First pitch to Higashioka, hit in the air to deep left field. Hilliard is back at the wall, leaps up, gonna go! Line drive, home run, Kyle Higashioka. First pitch in the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Padres hop in front. It's 2-1.
Kyle Higashioka, our play of the game, the home run, number 13 for Higgy on the season. Gave the Padres the lead. Two batters later, Jerks and Profar would hit a home run to make it 3-1, but the Higgy home run, our play of the game, because Padres never looked back after that. Gave them the lead, broke the tie. The Padres went on to win it 10-2. As always, if you missed any of our post-game show, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back and watch any of our post-game show on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. But do want to remind you, it's another beautiful day for a ball game, and Military Sunday at that. San Diego County Toyota dealers are proud partners of the Padres and supporters of San Diego's military community. Thank you to all military members for your incredible service. Taking a look at the series coming up in Pittsburgh. Padres embark on a 6-game road trip, 3 in Pittsburgh, 3 in Miami. The games in Pittsburgh Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Games against the Marlins Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Off day tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Padres are on the way there right now. Our pitching matchup tomorrow, or I should say, on Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Left-hander Bailey Falter on the mound for the Pirates, and right now for the Padres, it is to be announced. Padres have not announced their rotation for this series. We do suspect that Michael King and Dylan Cease will pitch at some point in the series, but we will let you know. We'll pass it along via social media, via the radio, when we know what the pitching matchup will look like for the Padres and the Pirates. Again, we do know left-hander Bailey Falter on the mound for Pittsburgh, and we'll pass it along when we know who will start on Tuesday for the Padres. First pitch on Tuesday in Pittsburgh at 3:40 p.m. Our Eco Water SoCal Padres pregame show begins at 2:40. Taking a look at the final totals in this one here today, in this series finale, as the Padres take the rubber match of this 3-game set. For the Padres, 10 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left on 7. For the Rockies, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left on 5. Winning pitcher in this game, Matt Waldron, who improves to 7-9. Losing pitcher, Cal Quantrill, who drops to 7-8. Time of game, 2 hours and 44 minutes, and the crowd here at Petco Park, it was the 37th sellout of 2024 in this building. Padres had 5 games this week in downtown San Diego. Each and every one, they were all sold out. The attendance here today, 41,828. Once again, first pitch in Pittsburgh on Tuesday at 3:40 p.m. Our Eco Water SoCal Padres pregame show begins at 2:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Frank Marchese, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from Petco Park. Again, the final score here today, the San Diego Padres 10 and the Colorado Rockies 2. We'll talk to you on Tuesday as the Padres take on the Pirates. Have a great rest of your Sunday.